global. And nakakatuwa nga, few days after po yun, nakahanap po ako ng paraan, nag-join po ako. And nakakatuwa, nung nag-join ako, alam mo, hindi ko alam yung gagawin ko. And galing po, sa Tugigaraw po kami. And kung from Manila to Tugigaraw, that's like what, 12 hours? So kung iisipin po mo, kung magta-training ka, kailangan pumunta ng Manila. Pero alam nyo guys, just because of that big dreams that I have in my heart, alam na tuloy-tuloy lang po ako. And for 2 years and a half, dun ko po na rin yung first million ko. And then bago po na rin pa yung first million ko po, napili ko yung first car ko, na Vios din. Dahil ng problema ng iba, problema ko rin po mag-drive kasi hindi ako marunong mag-drive. And then, sabi ko that time, yung, diba, I was single that time kasi. And bago pa ako nag-aim global, pangarap ko na po mag-asawa ng Amerikano. Kasi bakit? Gusto ko pong yumaman. Bago po nag-aim global ako. Ito nakakatuwa, nung nasa aim global na po ako, unti-unti po nagbago ang pananaw ko sa buhay. That time, sabi ko, bago ako mag-asawa, gusto ko maging millionaires club muna ako. Bago ako mag-asawa, dapat nabili ko yung kotse ko. Bago ako mag-asawa, dapat nakabili ako ng bridal car ko. Lahat po yun, bago po ako nag-asawa, nagawa ko. Eh, nakakatawa nga po. Do you believe in the power of praying? Yes. I was praying for a man. Siyempre, diba? So, I need to pray for that person. Baka mamaya kung sino-sino na, diba? And I really pray for God's best. Na nakakatuwa, I was so specific in my prayer na sabi ko, Lord, I want to be married, yung supportive siya, mabait siya, siyempre gwapo, ganon. And then gusto ko rin Amerikano, Lord, ganon. Na nakakatuwa nga lang, hindi lang ako naging specific sa prayer na to. Dapat, ang pinag-pray ko pala, dapat yung Amerikano na may buhok. Okay, so, hindi ko na pagtagalin yung sharing ko. Anyway, ito lang po masasabi ko, ngayon po sa ngayon, sobrang thankful ako na nasa global ako. Sobra yung, baga forever thankful talaga ako. Kasi bakit? Hindi lang po kasi yung buhay ko po ang nabago dito. Hindi lang dahil nakamit po ako ng asawang American. Hindi lang po dahil maganda yung buhay namin, kundi po ang pamilya ko po. Nagbago po ang buhay namin. We are 6 po na magkakapatid, pero 5 po kami humahataw kasi yung, bata pa lang kasi yung bunso namin. Yung 5 po, dati po, nung pagpupunta po kami ng Manila, wala po kami, ang pera lang nasa pulsa po namin, pamasahe lang po, para mag-attend po ng training, para po mag-attend po ng events po ng company. Alam niyo po, kahit wala kami masyadong pera noon, kahit wala kami pambili ng pagkain namin noon, every time nag-uusap-usap po kami, alam niyo pinag-usapan namin, tinuturo namin mga kotse na gusto namin na darating time magkakaroon po kami. Parang baliw, wala ka ng pera, tapos pinag-usapan pa yung pangarap mo sa buhay. Grabe, pero that time ko grabe. Today po, may kanya-kanya na kami sasakyan. Eh nakakatuwa nga po, dati, mag-isa po yung sa bahay, kasi galing po kami ng Alcala, so pari po yun, and then lumipat po kami ng Tugigaraw para po mag-network po. So paglipat namin ng Tugigaraw, kami lahat po ng pamilya, kumpul po kami sa maliit na bahay. Eh nakakatuwa po, 2 years, 3 years po kami nagkasama po. And sabi namin, nag-uusap kami lagi, darating time, may kanya-kanya na tayong bahay, darating time, may kanya-kanya na tayong properties. And today po, may kanya-kanya na po kami bahay. Alam nyo, sobrang napakasarap po yung pamilya po na ginagawa nyo in global. Sa tuwing po nag-uusap-usap kami, nagkukwentuhan kayo magkakapatid, hindi po problema sa pera ang pinag-usapan namin. Ang problema po namin, anong klaseng kotse ang bibilin namin dating araw, anong klaseng bahay ang bibilin namin, anong klaseng properties ang bibilin namin. And today po, as a family, we're earning more than 2 million a month. Anyway, marami na akong na-share, but it's just a challenge. It's not because na may asawa akong Amerikano. Alam nyo, lagi nyo ng challenge sa akin. Nagkaroon po ako ng bahay sa Camellia, hindi dahil po asawa ko Amerikano. Nagkaroon po ako ng mga kotse, hindi dahil po asawa ko Amerikano. Nagpumunta po ako ng Amerika, hindi dahil po Amerikano asawa ko. Anong punto doon? Kung kaya ko po, kakayanin nyo rin.
Yes.
Isa sa pinakapangarap ko kung nag-start ako sa Global, makatungtong po sa Amerika. Kasi sa tuwing pong bata pa lang ako, sa tuwing nakakapanood po ako ng snow, alam niyo, lumulundag po ang puso ko. Tapos nung nandito na ako sa Global, sabi ko, hindi pwedeng, hindi ko makamit ang pangarap na to. And I'm so thankful kasi bakit? Last 2012 po, isa pa ako nakahit ng US travel incentives.
Wow!
Nag-asawa po kami 2011. Supposedly siya ang tatrabaho ng visa ko, pero sabi ko sa kanya, no, I will work for it through Global. Ayun, nakakatuwa nga po kasi bakit? Nandun po ako sa Amerika, grabe. Alam ko nung hinahawakan ko yung snow, nangingilit po ang luha ko. Kahit nilalamig na ako, sobra, as in, ramdam na ramdam ko po, sabi ko, ito na yung mga para ng pangarap ko. Naiiyak ako that time, and sabi ko, ang sarap pala. Lahat pala ng mga pangarap, totoo. Yes, totoo po. Anyway, hindi ko na po patatagalin nito. Magkukwento lang siya ng konti, paano kami nagkakilala, at kung bakit nandito siya sa Pilipinas. Oh, sino pala sa inyo ang single? Single? Oh, sinong single? Sino po sa confident dapat? Confident. Kahit ano, 30 ng taon mo, ganun.
Single daw. Single ka daw dito ngayon. Pagbalik ng Saudi din.
Dami nila. Anyway, so, eto na. Let me help in welcoming my husband, Paul Gilbo.
Maganda yung story nila.
Good morning.
Good morning!
Did everyone get your tissue from your uplines for the nosebleed? Well, let me tell you about myself. During my college years, during the semester break, during the summer, I would go on foreign mission trips. And I had the opportunity to go to over 35 different countries doing foreign mission work.
Wow!
After each trip, I would pray to God where He'd want me to go, like where He'd want to send me. And when I was coming back from El Salvador, I got on my knees and I prayed to God. I said, God, send me wherever you want to go, except the Philippines. At the time, I didn't know the people, the culture, the food, and the love of family. And I've learned that sometimes in our prayers, we can limit what God wants to do in our lives just because we think we know what's best in our lives. So I'm glad for unanswered prayers. I'm glad He said no to them, because I didn't know what He had in store for me in my life. So after that prayer, I got online, and I got on MySpace, and I saw that it had an email. I opened up the message, and I saw it was from a young lady who was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. She was so beautiful that I thought, this has to be a scam email. She wants something. No one wants to talk to me that looks this beautiful. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and flirt with her. That was my goal. And she told me, if you want to talk to me, you have to buy Living Coffee first. She told me that the Living Coffee had 16,000 phytonutrients. And I remember thinking, how big is that cup of coffee to fit that phytonutrients? So I, of course, bought the coffee so I could talk to her. We talked for 2 years on MySpace, and then Facebook, and then Skype. We would Skype every day for 3 hours a day. But for 2 hours and 30 minutes, she would give me product demos. She was a silver executive. I thought that she was an executive at A Global, like the executive top management. So I was like, yeah.
Yes!
But I heard in her voice the passion she had for this business, the vision that she had for her business. She told me how she wanted to have an international market, and I was the only foreigner that she knew. So she would give me those product demos and OPPs because she wanted to grow her network. Even as a silver executive, she had a dream and a vision of where she wanted her business to grow. She didn't know anyone but me at the time. She told me how into Gigaround, when they first opened up the BCO, how they would pick up Sir John for OPPs in a tricycle. And I remember when I first got to Gigaround to meet Cristina, all the downlines, they were so proud of their motorcycles. Everyone had motorcycles. And now, 3 years later, everyone has cars. That's just the growth that they have. But whenever I was talking to her for 3 hours a day, I knew in my heart that I was falling in love with her. And I had to meet her for the first time. Because online, you really get to know someone, you have deep conversations, but you don't meet them in person. They could be different. It's just a person online. So I knew I had to meet her. So I booked a trip to Manila, and I knew that I had to meet her in person. So online, she said, when you land, I'm going to take you on a date, and I'm going to pay for it. So I was very excited. So when we land, I see her for the first time, and she was my vision of what beauty was. I remember praying to God. I was specific. I said, I want a woman with dark hair, long hair, and I wanted her to be a foreigner, not from America. So that's why I'm saying a vision. This is what I prayed for. I didn't know what I wanted, but when I saw her, I knew that this is who I would fall in love with. I didn't tell her this time. So when we get in the taxi, she's sitting all the way on one end, and I'm sitting on the other end, because I'm so nervous. This is like someone I've just met, even though we've been talking for 3 hours a day. And I'm like, how am I going to start a conversation with her? So as we're going over the skyway in Manila, we take a sharp curve, and I slide over because of the curve, and our elbows touch. And I felt like electricity go through my whole body. So the whole way there to our date, I remember I just kept our elbows touching. And that was the best feeling I've had so far in my life. So when we arrived to where we're going to have our date, she said, we're here. And opened up the doors, and I found out that she's kidnapped me. I'm in an OPP by Sir John. Again, that was her vision, to have an international market. I was the only foreigner that she knew. I hadn't asked her to marry me yet, so I was still her prospect. So even after the OPP, guess what? I was negative about the business. After hearing from one of the owners of the company, I saw his excitement, his passion for the business. It was a great presentation, but as an American, all we know is employment. It's all that I was taught from my parents. That's what's normal for us. So anything different was just negative for us. So I told Cristina, if we get married, the plan is you're going to stop doing AIM, and I'm going to bring you back to America. Out loud, she said yes. In her mind, I know she said no. So after my trip, I went back to the U.S. We continued talking for over a year on Skype. Each month I'd ask her, baby, how much are you earning this month? And at first she'd say 50,000. Then the next month she'd say 100,000. Then the next month, 200,000. And then I remember saying, upline, how much are you earning? Because in my mind I knew this was a legitimate business. She's earning more than I'm earning as an employee in my company. You know, her background of selling corn on the side of the road, that inspired Americans. I tell my family and friends, the humble beginnings, living in poverty, that the will not to quit, that inspired us. She was almost like an ambassador for the Philippines to the U.S. through her testimony. Every action that she took spoke volumes to the U.S. Every little thing, you may think that, who knows who I am? Someone does. Someone appreciates you, and you need to let your skills shine through the habits and the people that you associate yourself with, your friends. Know that you matter. So after that year of talking online, where I made the decision that I wanted to join, I booked another trip to Manila to ask her to marry me. I had the ring in my pocket because I didn't want to lose it going to the airport. And when the moment was right, we were back in Tigigaraw. I remember looking in her eyes and said, "Baby, will you marry me?"
Yes.
And she looked back and said, "Baby, will you buy a global package?" Because again, her vision and goal for life was to have an international network. And it was the only foreigner that she knew, and here was a great opportunity to get me to join. So of course, I bought the global package, and to show her the commitment, I got 7 heads. I believe my wife's life shows that no matter who you are, lalaki or babae, you can do this business, you can be successful. It doesn't matter if you're a single mom or an older lady or a young person, you can do this business. You can inspire thousands. But first, inspire yourself to take that first step. Because every journey in life takes one step. I encourage everyone to think each day, what can I do more that I didn't do the next day? If it's just reading another chapter in a book that uplifts you. For us, we found out that if we just turn off the TV, we could be more productive. For 2 years in our home, we have not watched TV. And our network has exploded. Because that was what wasted a lot of our time. It's acting. It's pretend. This is real life. So we learn to enjoy the real human beings in our life that are standing right in front of us. So I believe that there are negative people in this world. And even the devil, they're trying to stop not who you are right now, but who you will become in 5 years. Because if they can stop you in 5 years and even right now, then think of all the people that will not be motivated and become millionaires in this business. So that's why you have to not listen to negative people. If your friends are all negative, then you need to find new friends. It's going to be hard, but in the end, that sacrifice is not for you. The sacrifice is finding new friends that uplift you and that make you blossom and let you feel that you are a leader. You can become a leader. When I first met Cristina, she knew very little English and she was very shy. When I would call her on the phone, it would be like, "Hello, hello." She would speak very little because she was in a way ashamed that I would tease her for her English. But she learned that she has a voice, she has a passion, she has a story that inspires us and inspires people in America. That's all we know of the Filipino people, is of Aim Global and Cristina. What a testimony. Well, we also know that you win all the beauty pageants every year, and we know Manny Pacquiao. So that's a good thing. But now they're learning about your food and your culture, because Cristina went back to the U.S. and cooked for my family and they loved it. So in closing, I want to let you know that no matter who you are, you can make a difference. We all have the same ability. We have hands, arms, feet, but they're useless if you don't use them. So find out what you're good at and let it grow so that you can become an inspiration in your community. Thank you.